Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan. My name is Liaquat Zaman. We are going through the Diwan of Imam Shafi rahimahullah ta'ala. As always, I always mention this, that if you are not familiar with my channel, check out all the videos that I make. I make all sorts of videos for you guys, and they're all free on my YouTube channel. You can access them. I have topics from learning Arabic, learning how to read Quran, Hadith, tafsir, all sorts of things you can check out, and I'm still uploading, alhamdulillah, on almost a daily basis. So if you're interested, check out the videos, and I would really appreciate it if you guys hit the subscribe button, if you guys hit the like button, and if you hit the bell button. It really helps my videos to reach more people. Okay, the point that I am going to be talking about today, this is a poem of Imam Shafi rahimahullah regarding one of his amazing attributes. And that amazing attribute that we all know about Imam Shafi rahimahullah was his ability to be able to be silent when he needed to be silent. And this is something which I think personally, me and many of you may agree with this as well, that certain times in our lives we wish we were silent. Right? There was situations in the past when we said something we shouldn't have said, and we just wished we had bitten our lip and we hadn't said what we said. So he says, وجدت سكوتي متجرا فلزمته إذا لم أجد ربحا فلست بخاسري وما الصمت إلا في الرجال متاجر وتاجره يعلو على كل تاجر. He says, وجدت سكوتي. وجد يجد, it means to find. So he says, وجدت سكوتي. Sukut, it means silence. Right? سكت يسكت, and the masdar sukut. وجدت سكوتي. I found my silence. متجرا. متجر is from the word tijara. And matjar actually refers to the things that you do tijara with. Right? So the things that you do tijara with, like the commodities, the goods of trade, you call this matjar. So وجدت سكوتي. I found my silence متجرا أي متاعا للبيع مبيعا. متجرا. I found my silence to be a commodity of sale. فلزمته. And so I adhered to it. Yeah. So لزم يلزم. It means something becomes necessary on someone, or it can actually literally mean when someone sticks themselves to someone else. Right? So when you're kind of stuck to someone all the time, you're probably one of those people, or one of those people that always sticks to you, or you always stick to them. You're everywhere they go, every time, you're always contacting each other. Right, so this person is the lazim and the malzoom. So lazimtuhu, lazima yalzamu. Lazimtuhu, I adhered to him, I stuck by him, stayed with him. وجدت سكوتي متجرا فلزمته. So I adhered to sukut, silence. Yeah. إذا لم أجد ربحا. إذا لم أجد ربحا. When, إذا لم أجد, وجد يجد. And when I do not find ربحا, profit, فلست بخاسري. So ribh, it means profit. Just like in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions that فما ربحت تجارة ربح. Yeah. ربح البيع. And a lot of these words do actually appear in the Quran. Yeah. So like lazima, for example, like ألزمنا. What was it? That's the verse. If you can remember the verse. أنلزمكموها وأنتم لها كارهون. أنلزمكموها. So this appears in the Quran. وجد لا تجد قوم يؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر سكوت ولما سكت عن موسى الغضب. And I mentioned tijara. So a lot of these words you can actually find that these are in the Quran. So a lot of people in the comments, they mention things like, oh, can you do a series on vocab in the Quran? Well, this is all vocab in the Quran anyway. Most of the words that appear in these poems are actually found in the Quran. So if you learn this, you are actually learning a rich source of Arabic poetry or Quranic vocab. إذا لم أجد, he says, when I do not find ribhan, a profit, فلست بخاسري, I am not, فلست ليس بخاسر. Yeah, so khasir, khasira, yakhsaru, just like in the Quran. If you know where this word appears in the Quran, or one example of it, put it in the comments below. So khasir means someone who loses profit. So for example, let's say you buy a mobile phone. You bought it for, let's say, a certain amount of money. And then when you sold it for half the price. So you lost out there. You are a khasir in Arabic. Khasira. Khusranan. So he says, وَجَدْتُ سُكُوتِي مَتْجَرًا. I found my silence to be a means or a goods for business. فَلَزِمْتُهُ. So I held fast to it. إِذَا لَمْ أَجِدْ رِبْحًا. And in this business trade, so when I go silent, I usually profit. But if I don't profit, فَلَسْتُ بِخَاسِرِ. I haven't lost anything. It's like I haven't lost any money or anything. It's not like the mobile phone which I sold and then I lost half the price. فَلَسْتُ بِخَاسِرِ. I am not someone who loses out. Right? So this is like the perfect business model. وَمَا الصَّمْتُ إِلَّا فِي الرِّجَالِ مَتَاجِرٌ. مَا الصَّمْتُ ما ليس الصمت. مَا الصَّمْتُ لَيْسَ الصَّمْتُ. So samata yasmutu, it means to be silent. Again, this word appears in the Quran. If you know where it appears in the Quran, or at least one example of it in the Quran, you know what to do in the comments. Masamtu, silence is not. Masamtu, silence is not. Illa fir rijali. Wa masamtu illa fir rijali matajirun. So silence is not except matajirun fir rijal. It's like business goods, trade goods in men, in people. So, in other words, silence, masamtu, samt is not except matajir fir rijal. It's trade goods in men. In other words, when the Arabs generally say fir rijal, ar-rijal, they generally are referring to like a person with good qualities, and it just includes women as well. Right? So, ar-rijal in the Quran, فيه رجال يحبون أن يتطهروا. Right? So, it refers to men and women as well. So this is like a word which doesn't necessarily refer to the male, human. It refers to males and females as well. He says, masamtu, silence is not but matajir, trade goods in men. In other words, if men adopt silence and if they start to observe silence more, they'll find that they will benefit in life. It's like they're making business. Their day will become more effective, more productive, filled with quality, effectiveness. People around them will start to appreciate them as well. But if a person, yaps too much and just says too much, they'll always put themselves into some sort of like a problem, right? And this is why the Arabs say, "Man kathura laghaduhu, kathura ghalatuhu." Yeah. So man kathura laghaduhu. So a person who's like speech. A person who speaks a lot, then kathura ghalatuhu. There's another statement similar to this. There's many kind of things that the Arabs say with regards to silence. Yeah, so, in English we say as well, silence is gold. So وَمَا الصَّمْتُ إِلَّا فِي الرِّجَالِ مَتَاجِرٌ وَتَاجِرُهُ يَعْلُو عَلَى كُلِّ تَاجِرِ. وَتَاجِرُهُ, and its tradesman, it's the person who trades in silence. Ya'lu is superior, is above, transcends ala kulli tajir, over all other businessmen. Right? So the guy who trades in this kind of business, this guy will always be better than all the traders. In other words, the human who adopts silence more when it comes to confrontations, then this person will be above all other humans overall. Now, one thing to remember is Imam Shafi is not saying that silence is the key for everything in life. No, sometimes you have to speak up, right? So sometimes if you see oppression, if you see something bad happening, a munkar happening, then speaking up against it is something which is important. And Imam Shafi, rahimahullah, he's known for this as well. So he's written many books and he's, has many discussions on certain topics, and he's very vocal in speaking up against things that he sees in his community which are wrong. So this is why when we talk about silence here, it's not talking about just general silence, adopting silence as an act of worship. No, that's not what he's referring to. What he's referring to is in those situations where you don't have to say certain things, then just stay silent. Anyway, طيب سأشرح هذا باللغة العربية. So وجدت سكوتي متجرا. الإمام الشافعي رحمه الله هنا يركز على نقطة مهمة، ألا وهي نقطة السكوت. فكل إنسان في حياته يندم على الأوان والأوقات التي يعني تكلم بشيء وقد يعني أثر هذا الكلام في حياته حتى يعني اليوم. فمثل هذه مثل هذه الأوقات أو الأحيان التي يعني حدث فيها مثل هذا الكلام الذي ندم عليه، كان ينبغي له أن يسكت، فيتمنى لو رجع يعني إلى ذلك الوقت لسكت عن هذا الأمر ولما وقع فيما وقع فيه. فيقول الإمام الشافعي رحمه الله: وجدت سكوتي متجرا، يعني أنا في حياتي بتجربتي وجدت أن كلما يعني سكت في موضع كنت متخير بين الكلام وبين السكوت، وجدت أن هذا السكوت كان مثل ما يجد التاجر من المبيع، نعم، من المتاع، فلزمته. فعندما عرفت هذا أنا يعني أخذته بنواجذي، يعني تشبثت به. إذا لم أجد ربحا، يعني وحينما لم أجد ربحا من هذا السكوت، عندما لم أجد أي فائدة، يعني هذا يعني طبعا يكون يعني نادر جدا، الأمر يكون نادر، لكن لو يعني يقول الإمام الشافعي: لو لم أجد أي فائدة في مثل هذا الأمر فلست بخاسر، يعني أنا ما خسرت شيء، يعني ما أخذ مني أحد أي شيء. وما الصمت إلا في الرجال متاجر، يعني لو نظرت إلى الناس فلو وجدت الذين يصمتون ولا يتكلمون بما لا يعنيهم، وخاصة يعني بالكلام الذي يؤذيهم في المستقبل، عندما يلزمون الرجال الصمت، فهذا الصمت يكون متاع للتاجر، يعني متاع غالي للتاجر. وتاجره يعلو على كل تاجر، يعني وتاجر هذا المتاع، يعني تاجر السكوت، إذا وازنت هذا التاجر بجميع تجار الأرض، بجميع الناس على وجه الأرض، لو وجدت أن هذا التاجر يعني يفوق كل من لا يلزم نفسه السكوت. نعم. فإمام الشافعي رحمه الله تعالى هنا يعني يتكلم بكلام يعني رائع جدا، مهم جدا، وكثيرا ما نحن نقع في أمور نندم عليها فيما بعد، ولو ألزمنا السكوت في تلك الأحوال لكنا يعني مريح البال. طيب، جزاكم الله خير. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. There's just a few little things I just want to point out over here. وجدت سكوتي متجرا فلزمته. Right, so I found my silence. Yeah, so وجدت سكوتي متجر, describing things with business is a very common thing that Arabs do, and you find this in the Quran as well. So you will find Arabs saying things like they didn't benefit from this, they didn't profit from this, this was a bad deal to go into, and we do say such very similar things in English as well. And also إذا لم أجد ربحا فلست بخاسر. Yeah, so this idea of sort of like resembling silence and the way that a person adheres to silence as a profit, and then saying if you don't profit then you're not khasir. Khasir is also something which is to do with businessmen, right? So if you study balagha, you'll know that this actually falls under what we call isti'arat, right? Isti'arat. وَمَا الصَّمْتُ إِلَّا فِي الرِّجَالِ مَتَاجِرٌ. So this kind of a sentence, مَا الصَّمْتُ إِلَّا فِي الرِّجَالِ, we don't really kind of say this in English. We don't say things like, silence is not but high quality stock, high quality business stock in men. We don't really kind of say that kind of statement, right? We would say things like people who adhere to silence are profiting a lot or benefiting a lot. We'll say something very similar to that, or you can put it in the comments how we would say. So this kind of a sentence, masamtu, like the Arabs say things like this: ما العلم إلا في كتاب الله وسنة رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم. ما العلم إلا في كتابه. Knowledge is not but what is in the Quran and the Sunnah. So this is like an Arab way of saying things, and this is how you have to kind of adapt yourself around how the Arabs say things. وَتَاجِرُهُ يَعْلُو عَلَى كُلِّ تَاجِرٍ. So the businessman, he goes up and beyond over all other businessmen. So this is another Arab saying that people say. For example, like someone might say, this teacher, هذا المدرس يعلو على كل مدرس. هذا الطعام يعلو على كل طعام. So it's like you're imagining the food going up in the air, or the teacher going up in the air. So they understood as the higher you go up, the more superior you are. Okay, anyway, Jazakumullah khair, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And like I said, thank you very much to all of my patrons. You guys have, mashallah, I honestly, genuinely, really appreciate all the effort that you show me, all the support you show in my channel. If any of you guys want to become patrons and support this channel on a monthly basis and help me make more videos, then please check out the description below. And I will see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair for watching this video. I hope to see all of you guys. If you guys are interested, please leave us feedback, get in contact with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khair, guys, for all of your support. Without your support, I wouldn't have been able to produce the videos that I've put up on my YouTube channel. And there is so much more that I really want to do. And without the support of you guys who are patrons, generously supporting this channel, I've been able to get myself a camera, which, as you guys can see, the quality of this camera, a mic system, software. I've been able to hire an editor. So what do I want to do? I want to make lots and lots and lots of more videos for beginners, for intermediate, advanced, in the subjects like Arabic and fiqh and hadith and tafsir and aqidah and all those other things as well. And for this to happen, again, this channel needs support. So if you guys want to become patrons and support this channel, then check out the link below. Also, if you do become patrons, you'll have access to videos that I don't put up on my normal YouTube channel. So check that out, inshallah. And there's most other perks as well that you guys can benefit from. And if you want to access this channel through social media, we've got Twitter, we've got Instagram, Facebook page, and other things as well that you can visit. So Jazakumullah khair again, guys. Thank you very much for your support. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.